Good morning and welcome to Fremont.Church. My name is Matt and I'll be hosting our Discovery Bible Study this morning. And I have some friends here with me. We have Lisa, Laura Lee, and Angel. Thank you all for being here. We're a little all over the place this morning because I said 10:45 for us to get together, but we're live at 10, so that's my bad. But thank you guys for rushing on over so that we could go live this morning. We are going to be doing a Discovery Bible Study through part of the book of Job, which is what we're talking about in church today, but we're doing church outside. So we want to make sure that we're still doing something for our folks who are tuning in online. So thank you guys for being here. I see we have Caitlin in the chat. Good morning. And I have a screen over here. So if you want to participate in our Discovery Bible Study, then you can chime in and be a part of the conversation. So we'll start off our DBS this morning, like we do with every DBS, by just checking in and asking the same two questions. What are you thankful for? And what are you stressed out about this week?
Well, for me, I'm just thankful for the good weather, good health. Not stressed about anything currently. It's been a good last few days, good week. So, yeah, just thankful.
That's good.
I am thankful that it is not 90 degrees outside. I'm really loving this cooler summer that we've had, and so that's been great. Stressed, I am still trying to get in the swing of school, and there's lots of math happening at my house right now, and I'm struggling with Algebra 2 and pre-calculus right now. So, you think, oh, I'm never going to use this again, and then here I am teaching it. So, yeah, that's kind of my stressor right now.
Yeah. I'm thankful for work. We've been super busy, more than usually, which also brings a little bit of a stress because we gotta meet some deadlines. But it was a mixture of stressful because we were having some people come over to walk our property, and it was we were running around trying to get the last details in. So it becomes a little stressful, and when everything is over, we feel that release. We feel like so happy. Oh, we can't believe it. We're all doing this. So I think that was for me this week.
That's good. Yeah. I'm a little stressed out. Just everything had to come together really quickly this weekend. And my daughter got sick. And we had to actually rush her off for some emergency testing and then off to the hospital. And it was a whole ordeal this weekend. So my weekend has been kind of a mess. And so I'm very thankful that she is okay, and everything's going to be okay, and everything is calming down now. And so I'm still a little jittery and a little fight or flight right now, and so I'm a little all over the place. But the fact that everything is okay and she's going to be okay is bringing me a lot of peace right now. And so I'm very thankful for that, and I'm thankful we have some friends that my wife and I are going to hang out with today, and it's going to be a good time. So, yeah, let's go ahead. Oh, Caitlin chiming in. Thankful that her husband and her had some time in the evenings the past couple days. He just had shifts in his part-time job. Hey, congratulations. Nice. I'm glad you guys got that time together. Hoping that Eden is feeling much better now. Thank you. I really appreciate that. She is doing much better. So
I saw her enjoying a donut downstairs. So
that's good. That's good. That's a good sign.
Matt,
yes.
Angel's mic is not working.
Oh. Okay. Let me take a look.
Sorry.
All good.
I'm just saying I tried to turn up the volume for it, but it's like there was no difference.
Interesting. All right. That is going to be a problem for another time. So we'll just continue as normal.
Sorry.
All good. Sorry, folks. Technical difficulties. Let's go ahead and jump into our Discovery Bible Study. We're looking at Job chapter 40, verses 1 to 14. If someone would be willing to read the first time around.
Sure, I'll read it. The Lord said to Job, "Will the one who contends with the Almighty correct him? Let him who accuses God answer him." Then Job answered the Lord, "I am unworthy. How can I reply to you? I put my hand over my mouth. I spoke once, but I have no answer. Twice, but I will say no more." Then the Lord spoke to Job out of the storm. "Brace yourself like a man. I will question you, and you shall answer me. Would you discredit my justice? Would you condemn me to justify yourself? Do you have an arm like God's, and can your voice thunder like his?" How far are we going?
14.
14, okay. "Then adorn yourself with glory and splendor, and clothe yourself in honor and majesty. Unleash the fury of your wrath. Look at all who are proud and bring them low. Look at all who are proud and humble them. Crush the wicked where they stand. Bury them all in the dust together. Shroud their faces in the grave. Then I myself will admit to you that your own right hand can save you."
All right, thank you. A little bit of context before we jump into our questions. Job is a very interesting book. It's part of the wisdom literature in the Bible. It's what we're studying at church outside today. And Job is a man who has everything taken from him. And he is an example of a righteous man. And he's essentially put through this test to see if everything is taken away from him, will he still be righteous? And eventually Job cries out to God, and he's frustrated, and he loses everything. His friends are against him. His wife is against him, and so then God and Job speak to each other, and so it's this weird mix of theological debate and also this interesting story that may or may not have actually happened, but is potentially a Hebrew thought experiment. If there was this righteous man who was a cousin of Abraham, and everything was taken from him, then what would that tell us about God? And so that's our first question for today. What does this passage tell us about God?
I love this part of Job just because it's a constant reminder about how big God is. And I think so often we get caught up in all of our own stuff, whether it's a sadness or a stress or happiness or something, and we just kind of forget about the rest of the world, if you will. And this is a great reminder of like how big God is, and that he really has it all in his hands, and we really shouldn't worry about it. So I always think of this as like the big mic drop moment when God just comes in and is like, I have some questions for you. Like, answer me as a man and tell me what you think, because this is what I'm doing right now.
I think that's my favorite part of this passage is when he says, in my version, it says, "Brace yourself like a man, because I have some questions for you, and you must answer them." And I was reading before that, and that isn't the first time he's said that same exact thing. In Job 38, he says the same thing, "Brace yourself like a man." So when I read it, it felt like, oh my gosh, God is just... He knows he's almighty, and he's not like bragging or putting it in your face. He's just saying, hey, I am it. And righteously so. He's got all the power, and he is challenging Job, but not in a provocative way. He's just saying, as a matter of fact, you don't speak out against me because I am it, you're not it.
Yeah. It's interesting. My translation says, "I will ask you and you instruct me." And so it's like, Job, you want to question me. well, go ahead. Like you tell me what's what. Like you tell me how the universe is run. You do all of these things that I'm capable of, and I'll sit back and listen. And
Yeah.
it's like, well, yeah, it's not even like God is putting down Job. He's actually kind of dismantling Job's frustration and argument against him by saying, yeah, go ahead, you take control of everything. You show me what it takes to hold the universe together, and I'll just sit back and I'll wait for you to do that. And so then, because Job is given that kind of ability to speak on it, it's like, oh well, actually I can't do that. and so Job is actually given kind of the opportunity to see the grand scheme of everything that God is capable of, and that he's not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I also think that God allows us to speak our minds freely, and so like let it all out without that judgment, just for us to kind of hear ourselves back and see, okay, maybe I'm gonna think about it again
Yeah.
before speaking, right? So I think I love that part about God, that sometimes whenever we go through our life situations, the way that we feel, we don't express it to the people around us as as we express it to God. So we have that relationship, and even though He doesn't answer right away, then there's that time when He answers back, and you can hear yourself asking that question to Him, and you go like, oh, okay, so that's what you were doing.
Right.
It also reminds me of how His ways are not our ways. Through Job's experience.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. All right. Lisa, would you mind reading through
Sure.
the passage again?
Sure. Then Job replied to the Lord, I am nothing. How could I ever find the answers? I will cover my mouth with my hand. I have said too much already. I have nothing more to say. Then the Lord answered Job from the whirlwind, Brace yourself like a man, because I have some questions for you, and you must answer them. Will you discredit my justice and condemn me just to prove you are right? Are you as strong as God? Can you thunder with a voice like this? Like his? All right, put on your glory and splendor, your honor and majesty. Give vent to your anger. Let it overflow against the proud. Humiliate the proud with a glance. Walk on the wicked where they stand. Bury them in the dust. Imprison them in the world of the dead. Then even I would praise you, for your own strength would save you.
Thank you. So what does this passage tell us about people? Caitlin says the passage is basically like 1 Peter 5:7. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares about you. Yeah, God is in control, I think is what you're saying, yeah. So what does this passage tell us about people?
I think sometimes we think we have all the answers, but then in reality, God's like, no, I have all the answers. Just remember, like, how this whole system works. Whereas I think sometimes we are very much so, oh, no, I got this, God, I can take care of it. And we think we know what we're doing and all those things. But God's like, no, I'm orchestrating this whole bigger thing here. So why don't you just take a seat and let me take care of this.
Yeah, Caitlin says sometimes we forget we can come for guidance because of how sin and shame feels and takes over our minds. Easier said than done to give and bury our burdens. Yeah, I think there's a lot of emotion in this passage. Like, you can tell Job is overwhelmed and he's angry. And I think if Job had the power to do some of these things, that's why there's such extreme language about anger overflowing and humiliating or humbling the wicked and things like that. Like, because Job is in such an emotional place, like he's not in a state to make good decisions. He needs to have that control and that restraint and that wisdom that God has. But I think oftentimes when we get upset and we get angry, then that kind of goes out the window a little bit.
I think what this passage is also saying is that, you know, having wisdom of the Lord is also fearing with reverence
Mm-hmm.
of the Lord to the Lord. He is almighty. He can discipline, and if needed, it'll cause you pain a little bit. But he is still a loving God, and we just have to be patient. Maybe, like he said, like what Job said in the beginning, I have nothing more to say. I will cover my mouth with my hand. I think we should often just do that.
Yeah.
And just be quiet and let God do his thing.
Yeah, definitely.
I do like how it says, I will be quiet and I will cover my
Yeah.
mouth. It's like the safety guard,
Yeah.
you know, it's the two-factor authentication there. Like, I'm going to just really force myself to not say anything.
Yeah, there's this cool, it's that that verse right after. It's a cool Hebrew poetic tool that is used. He says, once I have spoken, and then even twice, I will add nothing more. It's a poetic way of saying, I'm further emphasizing my point that I need to be quiet. And so he's saying, like you said, like, I need to be quiet. I'm putting my hand over my mouth. Once I need to be quiet, 2 times even more so. I need to be so quiet. I need, it's my time to sit down and listen.
I think that happens to us a lot when we're trying to, we know, I don't know, we know we're right. It's like, I am 100% sure that I am right, but then again, the other's perspective is you're not. and you're trying to convince the other person that you're right, and at the end of the day, when you see that you're not, like, oh my gosh, kind of feel a little shame. You were insisting on something that you were wrong.
Yeah.
But then again, I think Joe, what he was going through, all those emotions, oh my God, it's amazing how he was able to endure all of that and go through all that process, and then come at the end with God speaking to him and telling him, okay, let's have a conversation and see what you can tell. You can show me what you can tell me. And instruct me.
Yeah.
You know so much, and you're so wise, so intelligent.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I better just keep myself silent.
Yeah. He's probably feeling a little embarrassed because he called out God, and he was like so certain that he was in the right, and then God's like, well, are you? Let's see. Caitlin is chiming in. We sometimes have to wait to have those answers revealed. In a message that Eric did, we aren't given every part of the story. Yeah. Job never really gets a direct answer to why he was suffering. He doesn't know this whole behind the scenes context of the fact that he was chosen as a righteous man to be put through this test. He just sees that everything was taken away from him, and eventually everything is restored. But he never is given the answers. He's just given the lesson, which is interesting. So if we believe that this passage is trying to tell us something about God and about people, then what does it mean for us personally today?
I think it's a reminder that we are not the center of the universe. That, and also that God can take our questions. Like he can handle us questioning what's going on. And we may not get direct answers to those things, but I think if we continue to look at the world around us in the bigger picture, we will see his answers. And it's not all about us. I think so often we get kind of this tunnel vision of this is what I'm going through, this is what I'm dealing with. Why doesn't God answer my questions and take care of my problems? But he is, just not in the way that we think it should be done. And maybe we just have to open our eyes a little bit more and see how he's answering all these little things in this much bigger picture than what we can see with our little tiny microscope on our life.
I think it's telling us that, throughout our life, there's going to be challenges, and we just have to shut our mouth, open our eyes, and just be patient. And kind of, I think it's stretching us to be more creative and to be just be open to what God is guiding us through these challenges. What is he trying to teach us? Where is he trying to take us? Maybe he's steering us in a direction away from, more danger or more hurt. So I think we just have to remember that life is not easy here, and that is why we need God. That is why we need him. That is why he loves us so much. Because he wants us to grow through these challenges.
Yeah.
I think that sometimes or most of the times, at least me, I want to see results, like the answer, and the unknown is what, that's where fear starts to come out, and questioning, securities, those kind of things. So I think that not focusing too much on the answer and just sitting back, watching God what he's doing, and just being patient and try to see things in his perspective versus what I think is more important and what he knows it is important. I think that's like what I can take from this.
Yeah. Life comes with so much baggage. It feels overwhelming sometimes. And it's interesting, like, on one hand, God is very concerned about us and wants us to be able to follow him. And in some ways, he's also like, why are you so worried about all of these things? Like, don't you see that the universe is so much bigger than all of this? And yet you're focused on these things right in front of you. Like, it's almost like, why don't you just let those things go and let them be at peace, and you don't have to carry them anymore. And it doesn't diminish how difficult they are, but just gives perspective, I think, to how big God is and how big the universe is, and the fact that he's doing a lot of things behind the scenes that we can't understand. So for me, at least, it gives me a sense of peace to know that, like, when life is hard, I can trust that it's temporary and that God is doing something, even if I can't see it. So, but that's also easier said than done in the midst of everything going on. But yeah. David is chiming in on YouTube. I love it when God tells Job in verse 7, act like a man. Yeah. And then in verse 10, clothe yourself in my majesty. That is how we are to respond to God in our lives. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
I think one of the things I always forget too is when it talks about, act like a man or things like that. It's a reminder that we are created in God's image.
Mm.
And so like to embody part of that as well. But obviously we fall far shorter than God, but it's a continual reminder, like, no, we are made in his image. So when he says be like a man, it's be like me. So, and I a lot of times I kind of forget that because I think, oh, man is this little nothing, if you will, compared to God, but we are created in his image.
Yeah. It's almost like a tongue-in-cheek challenge when he says it. He's saying, saddle up. Come on, it's your turn to run the universe. Like, you tell me what's going on. It's a task that we're incapable of doing, but what we are capable of doing is kind of saddling up, acting like a man or a woman or someone who's made in the image of God, and moving forward and moving past and through the hard things and not just letting it overwhelm us, so to speak. Let's see. And Caitlin is chiming in on Facebook. Even for those that are parents, it's not like always having answers for their kids and showing it's okay to not have answers to everything. Just patiently figuring it out step by step. Yeah. And I relate to reminding myself that it's temporary what we go through. And we have someone chiming in on Twitch. Sleeves is falling, dove, pull up. Don't know what that means. But thank you for being here. Yeah. Anything else before we wrap up?
Sleeves falling. That is.
I don't know.
Like maybe pull them up your sleeves and get ready to work.
Oh.
Maybe that's what they mean.
Yeah. That would make sense. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for being here. Is there any way that I can pray for you as we close?
My mother-in-law, my parents are 91. My mother-in-law is turning 90 in about a month. So just a prayer for, continued good health for my parents and my mother-in-law.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, anything for you guys?
Not that I can think of right now.
I would say just for Benji in Genesis, they're in that stage right now. It's a new stage for us as well. So
Yeah.
Two teens or getting there? Are they?
they're
I remember having my daughter and son in that stage.
Yeah.
It was hard to have those two in the house together.
Yeah. Exactly.
In the car together.
Yeah. So that just to be patient, because it's they're not doing anything other than just brawling at each other. But it's at the end of the day they come back and hug each other. So, but it's like it's me who sees it, and I get too serious, and I don't want to spoil it too much.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, let's close in prayer then.
All right.
Dear Heavenly Father, we just lift this morning up to you. We thank you that we can gather together and read your word. And God, we ask that you just take control and you just continue to hold everything together in the grand scheme of things and down to the tiny, minute detail, God. We know that you are present and you see us and you love us, and especially through the hard times, you are here to comfort us. And God, I want to lift up Lisa's parents and her mother-in-law as they're getting older. God, we just ask that you give them comfort, that you ease any pains, that you give them clear minds, and God, just thank you for everything that I know that Lisa does to support her family. Just give her strength and energy and patience through all of that. And we lift up Angel's kids as they are now both teenagers and going through a developmental period in their lives where everything feels out of control and chaotic, and especially probably with living with one another. God, we just ask that you be present there and give them peace and calm and love and reconciliation after any conflicts. I want to thank you for these wonderful people who joined us to do this Discovery Bible study, both in person and online. And we love you and we thank you, and it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. And thank you guys for joining us online. Yeah. I see that we have Steve chiming in. Thanks for the time together. Thank you, Steve, for joining us. And David, once again, prayer for parents and grandparents. We're praying for you. So thank you guys, and we'll see you for our next Church Online. Have a happy Sunday.